Hello, welcome to another day of Q&A Tuesday. We're here to start the 2017 season to talk to you about orchids. So for those of you that sent your questions in, thank you so much. And don't forget, if you guys have any gardening questions, like next week we're going to focus on succulents, be sure to put them on our Facebook page and we'll get your answers to you. So let's get right to it. Marcy says, I have 4 Phalaenopsis orchids which have never gotten new flowers or spikes. Any suggestions? Also, should you cut off the stem once the flowers are all spent? I have heard different opinions. Thanks. And Lydia also has a very similar question. How do I get my orchid to produce new flowers? In the past, I've kept the plants for a year waiting for new flowers to become available. So let's kill both those questions in one answer. So first, with the new spikes, once these flowers, this is a Phalaenopsis orchid, once this is done producing flowers, there will produce new spikes here and here. I suggest cutting it all the way back down, because then the next spike that'll come up will produce even more flowers. So now the trick, how do we get this thing to reflower? So once it's done flowering, what I want you to do is repot it, and then I want you to fertilize it every 2 weeks, and then the trick is to put it in a cooler spot. Right now you're probably working in a warmer spot. We want to get that orchid in a room that's around 55 degrees. Those cooler temperatures will induce that plant to want to produce a new flower, and in a couple of months you'll start to see a new spike coming. You have to remember though that orchids are not plants like geraniums or other quicker flowering plants. They do take time, but once you start seeing that spike come up, you can remove that from the cooler temperatures and put it in the spot where you want it, where it once was really happy. I have one more question here from Joe. Joe, what type of lighting is ideal for orchids? And how do I know when to repot my orchid? Joe, that's a great question. I always recommend putting orchids in a humid spot in your house, such as your kitchen or your bathroom, where it gets east or west exposure. You don't want full sun in a south window. You want some filtered light, but bright light. So east or west is the best spot. The second thing is, when do I repot it? Just like I said earlier, you want to repot that orchid right after it was done flowering. And to add a little kicker, we do have a repotting class this weekend. If you come in, George is going to do the class. He's actually you're going to take an orchid apart, you're going to repot it, so you're going to get the orchid, the pot, and George's expert advice. Thanks so much for these questions. Keep them coming, and have a great Tuesday.